And welcome, everybody, to the Mental Health Hour. I, of course, am the great and powerful Derek, joined as always by the Queen of Kansas City,
So,
Kat Daniels. Hello, my love. How are you?
I am doing very well today. How are you?
You know what? Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
That's good.
What are you doing with your microphone?
I had to. If I don't literally put it right in front of my face, nobody's going to hear me. But if I put it in front of my face, you can hear me so clear and well. It works so well.
Yeah.
As long as it's an inch from my mouth. So.
Oh, well.
Mental health hour, behave.
I'm fine. I'm not doing anything.
I heard you about to, though.
No.
No. Don't lie to me.
I try to keep it somewhat PG on the show.
I know. That's why I was reminding you to behave.
It is so beautiful out today.
I know, isn't it?
I mean, even though it's raining, I mean, it's still.
I love the rain.
I know, but it's that fall rain.
Yes.
Oh my! And yesterday, yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
What happened yesterday?
Yesterday, we took a drive out to a little city called Winchester.
Yeah, I noticed you guys went to Sonic.
We did.
Yeah.
Because we don't have one nearby. It's like 30 minutes away. So we're like,
same.
Made a day trip out of it. But anyway, we went out there, got some Sonic, but then we decided to drive through the mountains of West Virginia.
Oh my God. Yes.
And let me just tell you, wow.
Right?
Like some of these roads that we were on were these tight, narrow, one-lane roads. And the foliage,
gorgeous.
It was beautiful.
Oh man,
yeah, we were out there house hunting, and it just
nice, right? So when I went on that getaway trip to Virginia, however many weeks ago, I drove the long way home. So like I could have made it home in like an hour and a half, but I chose the longest way home, which was like 4 hours, and it took me through West Virginia, through this place called Harper's Ferry, West Virginia or something.
That's where we were at yesterday.
Yes. Oh my God. And like, I was amazed. I want to go back so bad. So, and then Friday I tried to go hiking, but the place that I tried to go hiking at was called, I don't know how to pronounce it. It starts with a P, Patapsco or something like that. I'm not sure.
I have no idea.
I don't either. I'll have to Google it, but it's here in Maryland, and it's like, it's near Ellicott City over here, which is like 45 minutes from my house ish.
Yeah. And it's mine. Yeah. I know. I used to be the store manager at that store there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you.
That one place we don't talk about.
Right. That shall not be named. So I went over there and I tried to go hiking, but I couldn't park in the first place because there was only 2 places to park and all the spots were full. And then I went on and finally found a parking space. But the trail that I went to, actually, there was a tree that was down and ended at a certain spot. So it wasn't even that far into the trail. And so that got blown out of the water. So then I just drove around for a little while. But it was very, very, very pretty. Very pretty. Like all they're 2-lane roads and just all the fall colors. And then this morning part of the reason I was doing so well was because I got to sit on my front porch, listening to it rain with the fall colors that are all around and a nice little chill in the air. And I got to have my pumpkin spice coffee. I'm so happy. And then I got to make a TikTok.
Wait a minute.
What?
You did a pumpkin spice latte?
No, I did a pumpkin spice flavored creamer from International, whatever that international one is, and with my regular cheap ass coffee.
Okay, so you still went and did a pumpkin spice.
Yes, I'm a basic bitch. I don't own any Uggs, and I never have though. So I mean, at least there's that.
Are you wearing yoga pants though?
No, I'm wearing shorts right now. And I was wearing big, giant sweatpants before.
Can I just tell you that the whole sweatpants movement is fantastic?
Right? Isn't it? Yes.
I went out to lunch a while back, and I just wear gray sweatpants. I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna be a basic dude bitch, I'm gonna be a basic dude bitch.
I like that basic dude bitch.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm also growing my hair out, and I'm gonna do a man bun.
I'm down with it.
I don't know why.
That's totally cool. My son actually, so like I was never down with the man bun thing, but my son insisted for years that he wanted to grow out his hair. And when he was younger, for some reason, I would always make him cut it. I'm like, no, you're cutting it. You won't take care of, oh, not for some reason, because he won't put product in it. And he has this kinky curly hair that goes literally everywhere on the planet, and he won't do anything with it.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Yeah, right. Well, his is like, and it's super thick and curly. And I'm like, either you do your hair and make it look nice, or you're getting it cut back in the day. Well, now I just, for some reason, now I'm like, whatever, grow it out.
Yeah.
I don't even care. You want it? And then I did that. And now he actually looks really good with his hair grown out.
Yes.
And he puts a man bun in. And I'm like, you are rocking that man bun. Look at you.
Yeah. I have that thick curly hair problem as well, and it sucks. Right now I'm at that weird stage to where it's like you can't style it at all. You just kind of have to let it grow out, which is why I wear hats every day.
Yeah.
Or at least on the show. I don't wear them like around the house, but yeah. I have a large collection of hats and beanies, like, you know, every douchebag in the face of the earth.
I like beanies. I don't like hats. Hats don't look good on me, but I do love beanies.
Beanies are fantastic.
I have a rainbow knitted one that my husband bought me. Oh, fantastic.
Speaking of rainbows, you know what yesterday was?
Coming out day.
Yeah, this is why I wore my...
Oh, yes.
Our shirt from June.
Yes. My purple one is in the laundry because I wear it a lot because it's super fucking comfortable.
The shirt?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it looks so good on me. Like,
yeah, these shirts are really comfortable.
Yeah, they are. So, also speaking of that, we've decided randomly that we are going to take Wayne's suggestion from last week or the week before? I think it was the week before.
It was the week before, and he wanted to talk about it last week, but we were talking about witches.
Yeah. So this week we're going to talk about children's mental health.
And I kind of want to start off with this little piece thing.
Okay.
So today, supposedly, is Columbus Day.
Oh, or I'd rather it be Indigenous Peoples Day because let's be real, Columbus was a douchebag.
So let's talk about that for a second.
Okay, sure.
And this is kind of where I go with this, as far as kids' mental health goes.
Right.
Our country has this lovely way of doing things to where, we teach things in school or we talk about things in such a way that once we get out of school or if we're smart enough to actually research things on our own, we find out some of the stuff that we find out is not always the case.
Right.
And it's detrimental.
Yeah.
Here's an example. Let's go back to 2 weeks ago when we were talking about religion.
Sure.
People talk about how we need to bring religion back to schools or God back to schools. Let me ask you a question. Are we talking about your God or everyone's God?
Oh, they're talking about their God. People
exactly.
Say that.
That's my point. That's my point. So we try to force all these things upon kids without thinking of the ramifications. Columbus didn't even, discover America, number one. Number two, how do we even celebrate that? By walking around a grocery store, getting lost and looking for spices? You know what I'm saying? I mean, how do we even, you know what I'm saying?
Did you steal that? If you did not steal that, you need to add that to your set.
No, I did not steal that.
That was a good one. Good job.
I'm just saying. I mean, Columbus was
looking for spices.
Getting lost around looking around the grocery store while looking for spices. Come on, that's funny.
That's what happened. Okay, sorry. Anywho,
Just saying.
no, usually with barbecues, I think, I don't know. Honestly, I think it's just a bullshit day that like people wanted off, or it was. Now it's Indigenous Peoples Day, and now I think we should celebrate with rain dances and go visit oh shit, what's the name of this place?
A reservation?
Yes, thank you. A reservation. Yeah, that one. Because they need money because the government didn't give them enough. But we won't go there.
We won't go there.
We won't.
Because
mental health.
Because that's a whole other subject that might get a little dicey.
Oh, 100% dicey.
Because some of those reservations are the most richest places on the face of the planet.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Debatable. But I don't know. Anyways, moving on.
Hard Rock Casino. That's all I got to say.
I don't know who that
on a Seminole reservation tribe in Florida is the Seminole Hard Rock Casino. Casinos galore at these reservations. They found a way to make money, and they did a good job at it.
Well, not all of them, though.
I know, but we're getting off the subject. But
I was raised in Kansas, near like close enough to Oklahoma to call it also probably Oklahoma. And the ones in Oklahoma, the ones that I've seen in Washington State, they don't. That's not how that goes.
I know. I'm just saying. There's perception. There's perception.
Sure.
Yes, but anyway, that's not the point.
Yes.
The point is, here's another example. I mean, with 9/11, it's not even really talked about in schools, especially on the day that it's celebrated, on the actual anniversary.
I mean,
I asked my daughter about it back last month. I said, "Hey, did you guys talk about this at all today?" Oh, it was a little bit of a conversation. Nothing. We didn't talk about it too much. It's like, what?
Well, but that was a monumental moment in our childhood. It's not going to be in theirs.
I understand that, but it's still history. They gloss over a lot of different things in order to tell the narrative that they want to tell.
You know what irritates me about that, though, is like they also gloss over the fact that there was a lot of shit that went down that was completely fucking false after that happened. They literally fabricated and made shit up and attacked people for it based on made up shit that they didn't double check.
You mean like the Iraq War?
Mm.
Oh.
They don't talk about any of that, though. And that's what irritates me about them, talking about history. Just like so Donald Trump did something where he made it to where government agencies, including government agency contractors, like the U.S. military and government contractors, can no longer provide sensitivity training for they used to have once a month, I think, training for how not to be racist, how not to rape people, how not to offend someone in your workplace. And they're not allowed.
That used to be a thing?
Oh, yeah.
How not to rape people?
I mean, it's not actually, okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit. It's not actually how not to rape people, but it's like.
I think that's a one-sentence class. Don't rape people.
You would think.
You would think.
But here we are, and it's not. Anyway, but I mean,
no means no.
Yeah, he banned the military and government agencies from providing trainings that include the words I don't have enough brain power for this conversation today, apparently. That include the words that talk about racism, but it's the structure. What's the word that I'm looking for?
I don't fucking know.
I'm gonna have to Google it. Hold on. Racial sensitivity training.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but he banned them from using words that he says uses divisive and harmful sex and race-based ideologies.
I don't know, like, grabbing somebody where the sun don't shine.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah. What it's institutionalized racism, I think is the word I was looking for, basically. So like they're not allowed, they're literally not allowed to use trainings that have those words in their trainings anymore. So it's that for me, honestly. Like, it's not complete. And then on top of that, like, this isn't children's mental health anymore. You're getting me on a ramp. Like,
well, the whole point is
harmful. I concur.
Well, the whole point is, it's about, it's about the harm. There's, they even do it to us as adults. They give us the information that they deem necessary in order to tell the narrative they want to tell.
Right.
Bottom line, for example,
being a kid is fucking hard, dude.
It is.
I forgot.
How are kids these days supposed to even form their own opinion? They can't.
Well, my son is actually very good about that for some reason. And I don't know I don't think it was me, honestly. I don't know, but I don't think it was.
Well,
so and my daughter, I think, is also fairly good about that. Like, for instance, my son is adamantly atheist, okay? Who is like, he's 13, almost 14. My daughter is she's only 7, but she has decided that she believes in God. Literally no one in our house does, but she does. And just decided that all on her own. And I'm like, okay, cool. Good for you. That's awesome that you believe in that. That's great. So, I mean, like, they both have created their own opinions about all of these things.
Yeah.
Which I'm very grateful for. And to some degree, maybe that is because of the way that they're being taught in schools, because you get a new teacher every year. So you get a different ideology, you get a different person, you get a different background every year. And so maybe that's part of it. I don't know. Because I can tell you, we're military. My kids have been in multiple different schools from literally all over the world. And it's not the same. Like, even if they go up a grade, they do not get treated the same. They do not make the same grades. They don't have the same reaction to different teachers. Like, it's not the same across the board in any way, shape, or form. We are all too different.
Yeah.
But so, like, when this year, when my kids were doing e-learning, right, and I had to help to manage their schedules, I was panic stricken.
Well, aren't you still?
Yes. Well, but that's because now I'm panic stricken because they had to change districts in the beginning of the year. Don't even get me started on that. That is there's a breakdown in this education system, and the state of Maryland is bullshit. So don't get me started on that. Anyway,
wait. Don't insult the entire state of Maryland.
I don't have a job to lose, so.
Me neither.
Right. If y'all don't want to listen to my podcast, The Teachable Soul, because I insulted the whole state of Maryland's like education system. My bad. Sorry, not sorry. Anywho, so I was panic stricken when we started because I had to help manage both of their schedules. And it's one thing. And okay, I lie. I was panic stricken just off of my middle school son's schedule. And I had forgotten that when I went into middle school, I was having nightmares about forgetting my locker combination, about forgetting where my classes were, about not having a schedule and having to go back to my locker, like nightmares, to the point that when my son went to middle school this year and I had to be the one to help him with his schedule on e-learning, okay, to be on time to each individual class, I was having those same nightmares. Like panic stricken, anxiety inducing. What in the hell? Okay, also, so I have a teacher friend who lives in Texas. She stated that in her school for middle school, their idea, once they go back to like the hybrid learning or whatever, their idea for middle schoolers was just to have the teachers switch classrooms to teach the classes, have the students stay in one classroom all day and have the teachers switch classrooms. I was like,
that's stupid.
No, it's not. Why haven't we been doing that all along? Why?
Because that's going to screw up the teachers. They have their things in each class and they do the things in certain ways.
They can bring carts with them. Derek, can you imagine a whole day?
That's going to be the same thing that they go to, because when they go to high school, they do the same thing. They're not going to make teachers move class to class. That's stupid.
But if we haven't found a vaccine by the time they go to high school, they're not going to do the same thing, Derek. We can adjust and adapt.
I'm not talking about you're talking about, you said, why haven't we been doing this the whole time?
Because logically that makes more sense. Like to have 50 teachers switch classrooms instead of 500 students.
Because again, teachers need to set up their classrooms in order to be able to teach properly.
Bullshit. I call bullshit.
Oh, let me go run upstairs.
Go get her. Go get her. Go ahead. I call bullshit. In today's day and age, you're telling me that they can't have a projector in every single room and the teachers literally just bring like their little plastic sheets and erasable markers to teach?
No.
Why? What do you need?
Because there's certain things that they need in every classroom and they need to make sure that their classroom is set up for success. And if they go into just if they're changing stuff around no, that's ridiculous.
But what do the teachers need in order to teach?
That's
in their classroom that they can't bring with them somewhere.
You would be surprised.
He said, I have no fucking idea.
No, I'm just saying you would be surprised.
I'm sure that I would be. But elementary school students stay in one classroom with the exception of music, PE, and library.
We're going to go ahead and get her on the phone. We're going to get her on the phone.
Okay. Why can't, she's not.
She's upstairs. I don't feel like going upstairs and getting her. Hey, I just need you to talk out loud for a second. All right. Can you hear her?
Yeah, I can hear.
All right. So we're talking about kids and mental health today. Okay. And we're talking about going back to school for middle school and high schoolers, for the hybrid learning. Okay. Kat says that teachers should move classrooms instead of the kids because teachers should not have their own classrooms. And
that's not what I said.
Hold on. And that's something that they should have been doing all along because the teachers, only need a few things to teach versus the kids need a whole bunch of stuff to learn.
That's not what I said either. Exactly.
Okay, hold on. You caught me kind of off guard, so I gotta get my brain all together.
Okay, let me explain though. Wait,
hold on. Would it be more conducive? Hold on. Would it be more conducive for you to change a classroom or the kids to change a classroom?
In middle school and high school.
In middle school and high school.
Middle school and high school. The only thing with that is that then you have teachers who are exposed to multiple students moving into different classrooms.
Let's not talk about the virus, just in general. We're talking about in general.
In general.
Yes, not virus related.
Yeah, take the virus part of it out.
Teachers have a lot more things than you think about. They also use a lot of time during independent work to work on grading, assessments, lesson planning, anything else that they need. For them to move every time, it's taking a lot more things than you would actually think, especially in the upper grades, if they have physical things that they are turning in or papers or anything. Also, you don't know what the previous teacher is exposed to, what their cleaning routines are, etc. Also, the kids in middle school and high school are not all in the same classes all the time. So it's not like taking, classroom A and, the next teacher comes in. Some of those kids may be higher or lower in math. They may have different electives. They may have different schedules. So for that, it's a lot. It doesn't really work. A lot of teachers have a lot of visuals in the room, and some of them have to be ADA compliant for different students who may have different visual needs. Also, there are teachers who are specialized coming into different rooms to pull students for different things. And with the teachers moving around, I think the problem is that you lose kind of where you are in the day sometimes. Just as somebody who I've done days like that where the kids stayed and I had to move, like we did days where we were learning about different continents and all the teachers were moving and we left the kids stationary. It was a lot to set up, and I would lose time every time I moved into a room because I had to set up. I had to get my computer set up. I had to get any sites that I needed up. I had to get any visuals that I wanted up. I couldn't just have a room that was prepped and ready to go and immediately start teaching. So I can see some people are like, well, keep the students where they are. In middle school and high school, they are having that individualized learning and they're not staying with the same students all day. So it really would end up being, okay, half the kids go here, half the kids go here, the teacher moves here, and it would be a scheduling nightmare.
Okay, so here's what happened, and here's why I asked this question.
Thanks, love.
No, what are you doing?
Oh, wait, no, wait, hold on. She said, hold on.
I'm trying to talk to her.
All right, go ahead.
Is she still there?
She's still here.
She can't hear me.
No, she can't, but I can relay the message. It's fine.
No, you can't, because you didn't relay it properly the first time.
All right, hold on.
If she's not busy, can you just tell her to come down then, please?
Hold on. All right, go ahead and talk.
Can you hear me now?
No, she can't. Hold on. Let me change my settings here. Hold on.
See, again, moving classrooms, nothing's set up for you.
All right, now talk, Kat.
Okay, can you hear me now? She could just come down. Is she there? I can't hear her.
Yeah, I'm not. I can hear her.
Okay,
right,
okay. So my teacher friend in Texas who teaches in a it's not a private school, it's one of those schools that's in between not a hybrid. What's it called?
Like a charter?
Yes, thank you. A charter school. Yes. So they do elementary school, but they also have middle school in their thing. So they had decided for the middle school students, when they go back to hybrid learning, they were going to make it to where the teachers would just switch classrooms instead of the middle schoolers, instead of the students. And that way they said it would, if they can reduce the amount of people in the hallways, basically, it would, in theory, reduce the probability of infection for everyone, right? But to me, when they said that,
but I was trying to talk to that, and Derek said not to talk about the virus.
I know, and the reason that he said that though is because my initial reaction is, why haven't we been doing that all along? And so he was explaining to me, or allowing you to explain rather, why we haven't been doing that all along is because it's a nightmare for you guys, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just again, you don't know what you're walking into. And I'm going to tell you right now, there are teachers who lag behind. There are teachers who will have to bring more things, and you will lose a good probably 15, 20 minutes for each class period in just the setup when the new teacher came in.
Right. But when my son was in 7th grade, so last year, we had a math teacher that emailed us at one point and was like, can you please have your students make sure that they have paper and pencil when they walk into the room, because we are losing time in the beginning of class every single day because I have to help at least 5 students find a freaking pencil, basically. And so I was like, this is ridiculous. And so I bought pencils for the entire classroom, basically, a lot of them. And in order to attempt to at least thwart some of that for a little while, because obviously it didn't last all year, but it, like, you're losing time either way, because we have to, I just feel like, what?
I kicked the side of my desk.
Oh, are you okay? Okay. I just feel like it's easier and actually less time consuming for one person to have, or even 2 people to have to switch out of a classroom than for 20 students for each individual room in a building to have to move and switch and get their stuff ready as well.
But think about this.
The thing is, the thing is that in those moments, you are waiting on another teacher to be ready to move into your room. So they have to pack up everything they had, which is a lot more time consuming than a child taking out a pencil and a piece of paper. They also have to wait for the next teacher to be ready to move in. And you have to do it simultaneously because you're not allowed to leave the students
unattended,
unsupervised.
Right.
So can you imagine a teacher having to walk across the hall while another teacher is packing up, waiting for that teacher to be ready, where the previous class is now unsupervised, waiting for that teacher to not only pack up, come in and set up.
That would be awful. What if we had we're solving world problems here. So what if each room had an assigned teacher's aide all day long? Just one aide that helps.
That's more money.
That is more money. We have teachers' aides in kindergarten, and that's about it. Like the problem that happens with that is that if you need teachers' aides, those people need to be trained, they need to be compensated. And then if those people are out, then you need to have subs. Or what ends up happening most of the time is they pull teachers, the EL teachers, the SPED teachers, the teachers that have specialized abilities that are supposed to be working with small groups of students, end up having to give up that day to go and do that. And that throws off so many other things. It becomes a logistical nightmare.
But then on top of that, think about like the sciences, your chemistry, biology, physics, and stuff like that. All that stuff that they might need for demonstrations or projects or, teaching aids and stuff like that. Yeah. Just the storage alone.
Storage. I have different things that I pull out for science, social studies, all that kind of things. There are different teachers that have, even in middle school and high school, you're going to have different resources for every unit. And you may have different posters, different visuals, different anchor charts, different stations set up just based on what you're learning at that moment.
Yeah, and then plus on top of that, none of the kids, all take the exact same classes once they get to middle school and high school.
Well,
that's what I'd already said.
Yeah.
And also the desk layouts. Some teachers need them individual. Some teachers need them in pairs. Some teachers need them in groups. It's all dependent on those teachers' needs, because if the teacher's not comfortable and confident in that classroom, it breaks down, and the kids feel that.
That's good to know.
So I can see for hybrid learning how that would be advantageous, because they're not going to be doing small groups. Everybody's desks are going to be the same. The teachers are going to be having minimal things, and everything's pretty much online. But in a normal classroom, we are encouraged to have that interaction and that personalization in our rooms.
I didn't realize teachers were encouraged to do that at all.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Middle and high school teachers don't do it as much, but there are some who do, but elementary teachers definitely do.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right. I've changed
my
mind.
Thanks, love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
All right.
Okay.
So, but yeah, because going back to even what she said, I took physics and some people took chemistry, especially once you get into middle school and high school. Let me turn my audio back. All right. Once you get to that certain point, it's, there's so much going on. It would be a logistical nightmare as far as scheduling goes, because not all the kids take the exact same courses. Plus, there's some courses that are just so specialized that I remember in high school, having to build in physics my toothpick bridge.
Right.
Where's the teacher going to store all those? You're just going to throw them, he can't take them from classroom to classroom to classroom to classroom. That's I mean, so it's just, that would be, I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to make it easier on the kids. But the thing about it is, the easier we make things on kids, like, participation trophies and shit like that, the worse they're going to be in adult life.
That is such bullshit. Oh
no,
my
it's
God.
not.
Do you know? No, it is. You know why? Because going forward, do you know how easy they're going to have it? How actually easy they're going to have it? Do you know how close we are to just having robots do everything for us? I have a robot thing that sweeps my floor for me and I don't have to do it anymore. There are robot mops. There are robot lawnmowers. There's a washer and dryer that you literally just chuck your clothes in it. It washes, dries, folds, and puts away your clothes for you. Do you know how easy they're actually going to have it? They're literally just preparing for an easy life.
So why give them easiness in school? They need to be challenged. Because who's going to, if in 20 years that's the case, and if we're giving all these kids these options now, who's going to fucking repair those goddamn robots in 20 years? These idiot kids who aren't challenged in schools and are given participation trophies at every turn?
That went in a different direction.
No, I'm
participation trophies and having an easy life because of robots, I don't think are the same thing.
Yeah, they are. Just show up and you're going to be congratulated. We'll handle everything for you. You just show up.
No, it's not. We'll handle everything for you. It is an evolution. Technology evolves, education evolves, people evolve. And this is where it's going to evolve to.
But again, these kids still need to be taught the right way in order to make sure that they can continue with that evolution. If they are just given every opportunity handed them, and not challenged in any which way, shape, or form, then they're going to cease to exist. And the technology is going to go back to being the way it was in the 1800s.
I disagree because, okay, listen. So this is the reason that they're pushing STEM right now. They want all of the kids basically to be in science, mathematics, electronics of some sort, all of those things.
Correct.
That is the reason, because in the future, it's either going to be your brain that you're going to be valued for, period, and that's all you got, or it's going to be your coding skills. And that's it. Either way, all of those things have to do with your brain. We are physically moving to a place where we're physically not going to have to do a whole lot anymore, except for go to a gym and exercise, because everything is done for us. And even then, we have surgery that can fix that shit for you if you have enough money. But they don't give out participation trophies in science.
No, but my point is, if we're bringing everything that they need to them, then they're not going to be challenged.
I think they're being challenged right now with COVID. They're having to learn how to adapt.
Yeah, but if they go back to school and everything is just handed over to them, here, you sit right here. We're going to bring in 6 different teachers to teach you all day long, and you don't got to do anything else but to sit there and learn. They're not going to sit there and learn.
Well, no, because they're going to be bored.
There you go. You win.
You win.
I mean, you just proved your point right there. 100%. You win this argument. You're done. We're done. Show over. So there you just proved my point.
I like the way that you worded that, though. That is a very smart man thing to do, just so you know, for future reference for you.
Oh yeah, just automatically say you win with sarcasm in my mind the entire time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You win. There you go. You proved your point. Good job. I'm proud of you.
With the
I would do it.
utmost of sarcasm coming through.
Sure. I'd be all right with it. It'd make me laugh and also make me feel like the words that are coming out of your mouth still make me feel good. So I'd be all right with it. I like to be lied to.
Yep. Yes, dear.
Anyway, right. Exactly. That's what that means. Anyways, so it's hard to be a child. Everybody's like, oh, enjoy your childhood, but also prepare yourself for adulthood. And finding that balance as a kid who literally like just didn't even ask to be here is rough. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. It's rough. And I can understand like everything that affects adults affects kids in the same way, but kids have a tendency to act out more about it. For instance, there was a kid who this dad posted a video about his kid who committed suicide during COVID. And I mean, it wasn't because like somebody got sick with COVID. It was just because he was like 12 and was just upset about regular kid shit and took it too far, basically. And learning how to manage emotions as a kid is hard. And then on top of that, you throw in like the preteen and the teenage years, and you really don't want to talk about anything, especially if you were raised in an environment where talking about your problems is looked down on.
Correct. But what I'm saying is, I think you're even further proving my point. If we do not, hold on, teach them how to deal with their emotions or help them with that at the age they are now, they're not going to be able to do it as adults. And then the suicide rates are going to go even higher. We don't. Okay. So that story you just talked about. Okay. Do you know that guy personally?
No.
Okay. So do we know the whole story behind that?
No. Do
we know that he checked on his son daily, just talked to him? Do we know that, the son maybe was posting cryptic shit on Facebook and the father not noticing? Or do we know all that stuff? No, we don't. He probably was just like, oh, just teenage shit. No big deal. We don't know what really went down there.
I mean, he told what happened. Would you like me to tell you what happened?
We're hearing his side of the story. What about the son's side of the story? We'll never know.
That's all we can hear.
But that's my point. The point is, what if that kid just needed the extra attention? What if that kid just needed, someone else to listen and that father wasn't there for him? We don't know. All we know is what the father is saying right now.
But we could also assume that the father was there for him. The kid was.
We could. Absolutely. We could assume
some anger issues maybe or something.
But we don't know. That's just the thing. The point is, if, we just accept that, kids go through issues or, this or that, and we're not challenging them in order to be better for themselves in the future that they're giving themselves, then they're never going to be who they should be. If we just constantly cater to their every need and constantly, take advantage of things that we have and not be there in ways that they actually need us for, then it's only going to make things more detrimental.
Okay.
It's a balance between challenging and being there. So who's to say that this father also just said, you know what? You go to class, you handle it. I'll talk to you at the end of the day. Or, wasn't there in any way, shape, or form and just, said, oh, it's just kid problems.
No. So I'm going to take this one step further. So do you know who Drew Lynch is?
I do know who Drew Lynch is.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't making fun of him. I was just making a point.
No, yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, he is a comedian who is known for his stutter, but he's a very funny guy. So one of the bits that I saw him do recently was on why you should beat your kids.
I don't think I saw that one.
Huh?
I don't think I saw that one. He's
Good. I'm so glad. Okay, good. So he basically he says, okay, he's like, if you hand somebody grapes, or if you offer someone in this room grapes, they're gonna be like, nah, I'm kind of indifferent. No thanks. Like, I'm good. It's fine. But if you try to hand somebody, I wasn't doing that to make a point. That just accidentally happened. But if you were trying to hand somebody wine, everybody's going to take wine. Even if they don't like wine, they're going to take wine because you can probably sell wine to some degree if you just offer them free wine. Some people, most people, more so than grapes. Shut up. I'm making a point, and so was he.
Can we talk about beer?
No, listen. And the reason that everybody would take, because you know what happens? You know how you make wine? You take grapes and you step on them and you store them in a dark cave for 10 years and they come out better. So you should beat your kids basically because it makes them better, was his point. I mean, it's obviously a joke. He makes it funnier than I do. And also, he didn't have anyone interrupting him, telling him no in the middle of it. But
yes, he does. Everyone fucking heckles that guy.
he is a professional comedian. I don't think he's living anymore in a place where people heckle him. If they are, then
no. Well, the thing about it with him though is he welcomes the heckles, so he does get heckled a lot because he interacts with the audience more than other comedians.
He does. I like that about him.
Yeah, so he welcomes the heckles, so he gets heckled a lot.
Oh, okay. So, anyways, point is, how do you feel about spanking?
Depends
on
the extremity of the situation.
What does that mean? So, for instance, before I realized better with my son, because my son is my son, and when I was a kid and people tried to spank me, I would buckle down harder and be like, that didn't hurt. I would literally be so, like, at 3 and 4 years old, I would cross my arms and just get mad and say, that didn't hurt. To the point that my sister, like, it was a whole thing. I traumatized her in that moment. Okay. Literally traumatized my sister when she was older than me, 8 years older than me, when I was like 3, 4, or 5, somewhere in there. And she was trying to spank me and I kept telling her it didn't hurt. So she tried to spank me harder. And now she's traumatized. Point is, my son is my son. And the same thing happened with him. He didn't give a fuck if you spanked him. Did not care. Would buckle down harder and do it again. Did not care.
Sounds kinky.
We were talking about children. That was unnecessary, sir.
Was it?
Yes. Yes, it was. Stop it. Anyway, cheese and rice. So, however, before I learned this lesson with my son, I would only do it if he was like endangering his life. Like if he would run out into the street, I'd swat him on the bottom and be like, hey, you don't fucking do that because you might die. Okay. Like if you're endangering your own life or if you're doing something to endanger someone else's life, you get spanked. That's just is what it is at the time. So what do you mean by it depends on the situation or the severity or whatever you said?
It's in the moment.
I
can count maybe, I don't even remember, maybe 4 or 5 times in her entire life in 10 years that I spanked Izzy. And it wasn't even like a actual spank. It was just like one quick swat to the bottom just to say, hey, bitch, this is how it is. And like with like Joey, as she got older, she got popped in the mouth a couple times because of talking back. But not like just like a
slap in the face.
Yeah, not like a slap in the face, just like a like that. What's wrong with you? Stop that.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, who the fuck you think you're talking to? But I've never like hit.
Yeah.
I've never like spanked for the sake of spanking or never like that. But I have swatted him a couple times. Nothing like to make him go, holy shit, that hurt, or leave a mark, or nothing like that. No.
Right.
Not to the point where people go, damn.
Yeah, that's different. Anyways, but I was spanked. I mean, obviously, as a kid, and like when I was 14 or 15, my mom tried to get out a belt and pretend like she was going to spank me, and that didn't go over well for her. And I can't, after learning the lesson with my son, I just believe that it depends on the kid. Like if your kid responds to that as punishment, okay, whatever. Do it appropriately. Don't beat the shit out of their ass, obviously. But if your kid responds to that, cool. I'm glad you guys found what worked for you. But for my kids, both of them, it would never work. That would never do shit. But I'm glad I learned that when my son was young.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because otherwise they'd have been. But then there's whole studies or whatever about like how I still don't know my own opinion on if like what qualifies as abuse or where the fine line is between abuse and not abuse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very fine line. I mean, let's be real. I mean,
Right.
It's 100%, I mean, it really, really is.
Yeah.
I mean, you better have some severe justification, number one, but then number two, it needs to be A, not out of anger.
Right.
And B, for the sheer purpose of teaching a lesson, not just because you want to beat the shit out of your kid.
Right.
I mean, there's a difference between spanking and abuse, 100%. 100%.
Right. Absolutely.
100%.
But there's also people who spank because they've been told that that's okay in order to abuse.
Yeah.
And that's not. That's different.
Yeah, so, I agree 100%. You're not wrong.
That's the only reason. Like, I mean, like I say, my first initial reaction when I see people spanking is, I hope they're okay. I hope they're not going to take it too far. And I get nervous. But again, my second reaction is, I mean, if that works for you and your kid, then as long as you're not taking it too far, we cool, whatever. I don't care. But my first initial reaction is always, I hope they're not going to take it too far. And probably that's just my childhood trauma coming out because that's so cute.
Don't we all have that childhood trauma?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that video that I sent you this morning? I want to talk about that video real quick too, by the way.
You sent me a video this morning?
Yeah, on TikTok.
Oh, I haven't pulled up my TikTok yet today.
Okay. So I guess this guy made a video. God, I'm going to have to look up his name because I want to give him credit because it's a really freaking good video. So I guess this guy made a video talking about his name is King of King's Energy. So King of King's Energy made a talking about like basically accepting your trauma, because people do a lot of things to avoid their trauma, like hanging out with friends in order to not feel lonely, like watching Netflix because you're depressed, like drinking because you don't want to think about your feelings or whatever. And very rarely do we try to face those feelings head on. Oh, abandonment. That's what he was talking about. He was talking about our because we all have like a fear ultimately of abandonment, basically. And we do things to distract ourselves so that we don't have to deal with the fear of abandonment and the emotions that we're feeling because of abandonment. And he made some video about, I love the something of abandonment in my body. And he said it and somebody duetted it and said it. And everybody who keeps watching it is like, why am I crying? And because he was saying that if you face those feelings head on and you actually embrace them and deal with them and sit in them, then it will make you cry because you're facing it for the first time, and crying is releasing. So you're releasing those emotions, because otherwise, if you don't do that, they get pent up and hold up in your body physically. And it feels like this. and it feels like crushing anxiety sometimes. And yeah, so I thought that was a very helpful and interesting video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out, because I was not prepared to heal like that this morning.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Go watch it.
Well, actually, send it to me on Facebook Messenger, and I'll pull it up and play it now.
Oh, yay! Okay. Right now. All right, it's going to your personal Facebook.
All right, hold on. All right, I'm pulling it up now.
Okay. My son's at a sleepover with his friends, and he's a very introverted person, while you're bringing this up. And he calls his friends the boys, BOIS, you know? And
Yeah.
he's honestly so like loving about his friends, and they're all jerks to each other. Don't get me wrong, because they're teenage boys. But
Yeah.
but he, you know, he enjoys and embraces like bro moments that they have together, you know? And just as a mom, I just think it's so cute, and I love it, honestly. It makes me so happy.
All right, let's go ahead and play this.
Okay.
You guys crying.
I love the feeling of abandonment in my body.
I love the feeling of abandonment in my...
Most people have an energy blockage of abandonment in their body. At any time in your life, when that energy blockage gets hit by a trigger, you don't want to feel it. So you do anything to avoid that feeling. You distract yourself by watching Netflix, drink alcohol, hang out with friends to overwrite that feeling. You do anything to not feel that feeling. But exactly that pattern makes that feeling be stuck in your body. The way to process that feeling is not to resist that feeling and run away, but to allow that feeling. When you say, I allow myself the feeling of abandonment in my body, you open up that energy blockage, which in turn releases the resistance and makes you cry. This video that I posted made you guys cry, and you asked me, why are you guys crying?
We're gonna play it again.
I love the feeling of abandonment in my body.
I love the feeling of abandonment in my...
Most people have an energy blockage of abandonment in their body. At any time in your life, when that energy blockage gets hit by a trigger, you don't want to feel it. So you do anything to avoid that feeling. You distract yourself by watching Netflix, drink alcohol, hang out with friends to overwrite that feeling. You do anything to not feel that feeling. But exactly that pattern makes that feeling be stuck in your body. The way to process that feeling is not to resist that feeling and run away, but to allow that feeling. When you say, I allow myself the feeling of abandonment in my body, you open up that energy blockage, which in turn releases the resistance and makes you cry.
Interesting.
I just think that's so fucking important for people to hear.
I had to play it twice just to make sure that we got the point across.
Right. No, I agree. I had to listen to it a couple times. Like, it takes a minute to really, really hammer it home, and, you know, because I sure as fuck don't. I don't deal with my feelings. I don't face my feelings head on. I get mad when I cry because I'm crying. I fucking hate to cry.
I don't mind
Like, it's
it.
ridiculous.
I don't mind it.
You don't mind crying?
Nah.
I fucking hate to cry, bro. It makes my head hurt. It stuffs up my sinuses. God, I hate to cry. I
Yeah.
so much hate it.
Yeah. Well, it's been a fun hour.
It has been.
Guess what?
What?
Guess what Thursday is?
Thursday?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I don't know what Thursday is.
Thursday.
Oh, yes!
October
Yes, I do!
15th.
Yes, I do. 100 episodes.
100 episodes. So this coming Thursday, when you come to Suck It Podcast, you're going to see this overlay because Kat will be joining me on Thursday for episode 100 of Suck It Podcast with some surprise guests, giveaways, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. I am so excited.
Me too. You're excited?
Excited.
Yay.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a long road. Lots of trials and tribulations.
Right.
And it's just been,
So worth it.
it's been worth it. Because the best is yet to come.
That's right.
Yes, yep.
Okay.
But I hope you guys enjoyed this week. Next week, we will not be on with the Mental Health Hour, but we will be on with the Kat and Derek's Tales of the Super Normal, or whatever we'd call it.
Super normal. Yes. Because we can't use supernatural.
We can. We like the word super normal.
Well, I don't want people to Google supernatural for the TV show and find us, because that's not the same thing.
So yes. So next week we'll be back with a super normal. Tales of the Super Normal. I think that's what we call it.
What should we talk about?
I don't know. Last week we did witches.
Let's talk about mediumship and people who talk to dead people.
We could do that.
Let's do that.
We've had a medium on the show.
All the more reason to talk about it.
Yes. All right, let's talk about psychics and mediums and the weirdness behind that.
Right. Okay, cool.
But yeah, that's next week, 12 p.m. East, 9 a.m. West. But tonight, join me for the Suck It Podcast week of celebration, starting tonight at 8 o'clock, 5 p.m. Pacific. And that should just about do it for today. We love you guys.
We do.
And we want nothing but the best for you guys. I hope you guys took what we said today to heart and, be there for your kids. Don't abuse your kids. Don't, listen to your kids.
Don't discipline out of anger.
Yeah, exactly. Kids are our future, but they need to be challenged, and they need that extra push, but at the same time, be there for them physically and mentally. But until then, till next week, or until tonight for me.
Right. And Thursday, really, for me.
Yeah, Thursday for you and I. We're gonna have some fun.
Right.
Yeah. See you next week, guys. Or Thursday.
Peace.
Bye, guys. Bye.